Lamentations 3:22. Through the Lord's mercies we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I thought about not adding anything to this. It could be a little bit boring, but it's just such a beautiful verse and just such a good one to meditate on and kind of breathe in. To lament is a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. I don't think a lot of us get up in the morning and say, I'm going to go to Lamentations and read through it, but our life can be full of Lamentations itself, right? Whether it's the local news, whether it's a personal situation that we're in. But the verse is really interesting in that it talks about not being consumed by those things. I think a lot of anxiety and worry is not even the item that's bothering us, but the thought that we're not going to be able to make it through that, or we won't be able to go from day to day. My grandfather has a story that he wrote down where he had lost a child, and he was kind of taking that to the Lord and just felt like he wasn't able to go on. And at a certain point, he felt like he was going to be consumed by this grief. He says when he finally gave it to the Lord in a complete way, peace came over him. Now, I never asked him this, but I'm quite certain that he still had good days and bad days after that. But he was able to rely on the items that are mentioned in this verse. We are not consumed because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Some mornings where he still felt pretty bad and woke up and still felt like, this grief is coming back at me. He could rely on a verse like this, knowing that the Lord's compassions weren't going to fail him. Pastor Bill has a saying, which is that Lord doesn't give us A and Z, right? He gives us A, then B, then C. And that's kind of the thought about it being new every morning. I could also think about the manna that came from heaven, right? There was just enough every day. The Lord's giving us what we need on a day-to-day basis. When I think about my testimony, everybody does a little different, but for me, it's just telling people how solid inside I feel. Not that I don't have bad days, not that I don't have stress, but that I know I'm not going to be consumed. I know that the Lord is not going to fail me. Great is your faithfulness. Not our faithfulness, but his to us. We're not going to be consumed, that the Lord is not going to fail us. Great is his faithfulness to us.